Hey everybody, Amprepairguy.com, 203-892-4119. So today's a big day. Penta Laboratories has bestowed on me a great honor of being the first to present the new 3-500Z. Well, an old design, but the new to them that they're now selling. Anyone that's been in the amplifier business or has been a radio operator for a long while knows about the Amperex 3-500Z and how it just had, extremely thick anode graphite plates and just took a licking and kept on kicking. So I noticed them for sale a while back, and I brought it to Penta's attention, and they jumped right on it, and I guess bought the rights or whatever. And like a tree, if a tree doesn't grow, it just withers away. So Penta keeps growing and acquiring new things, and so found out about this whole thing started over the summer, and been waiting, and they promised I'd have first shot at showing it, showing the new product, and they kept their word. They always keep their word to me. They're good people over there. So I have it in the box. I haven't even opened the box yet. Just showed up, a UPS, and I'm going to unbox it, show you guys what they look like, and then I'm going to do some testing, and then I'll be right back. So I'm going to check the tubes on my hot pot tester, do some capacitance measurements. I'm not going to bother testing them in an amplifier because they're still rated for the same output. They're just more durable. So I'm not one of those people that's going to grossly inflate what a tube can do. People that know me know that I only put my name behind people I can trust, which it's a very short list. I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen a lot of my friends have passed on. Good buddies with Peter Dahl, and just a whole slew of people. Rich Measures, great guy. Just lots of people. And accumulated a lot of knowledge over the years, and I like to keep it real. So as far as these tubes and Penta, see Penta, they have me listed on their website as a notable mention here, because they trust me. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't make anything. They're not paying me. I don't get anything. All I get is they treat my customers well. They treat them with respect. They keep their word. And there are no headaches or games or anything. I've dealt with all sorts of distributors over the years, and there's enough going on in life to where you don't need more stress. So they're just good people. So the way I have it set up, I've said it before, I'm a dealer. They sent me this shirt a long while back. It's a large. I wear a medium, but it's still good. Thank you very much, guys. See, I'm a dealer collaborator. Okay? I could sell tubes, but I'm not in that business. I fix amplifiers. I have the Harbach kit. I acquired Harbach Electronics. Jeff offered it to me. I needed it for my amplifier work, and I have a true passion for amplifiers, and I wanted to keep supplying the kits to people so they could keep amplifiers going. It's not much money in that, but it's more of a passion. So I have to put out a lot of money to get parts at a reasonable price. And that money, I'm telling you, could make more money in a high interest bank account. But again, I have a passion for amps. So I'll get back to it. I don't sell tubes. So when a customer sends me an amp, I pass them right over to Penta. They buy the tubes direct from Penta. Penta sends me 572s. I used to have 3 500Zs in stock, but I like testing customers' amps with the 572s just in case there's an issue. I haven't had an issue in a long time. But they call Penta, they pay for the tubes, they get the tubes at the 100% dealer price. I make nothing. Penta keeps me stocked up, they keep tubes available for me, and I'll say it again, they treat me well, they treat my customers well. That right there is worth a pile of gold bricks, okay? So, when it comes to these tubes, I'm getting nothing for doing this. I just fixed I'm exhausted. I worked on a basket case AL811 all day. It's over there on the bench. I'm waiting for some epoxy to dry. I had to take apart one of the input circuits, so I won't get into that. Anyway, here's the box. I'm not going to show my address on here. Yeah, be careful. All right. Right from Penta, still sealed. See the tape, top, bottom. Okay, so let me. Oh, you guys will be proud of me. I've been keeping my bench nice and clean. Just have the parts from the amp that I was working on over here on the bench. Yes, I have a busy shop, but I had enough people saying, clean your bench, clean your bench. Plus, you're right, it is a lot easier to work and I get things done quicker with a nice clean bench. So, thank you. Okay, so I'm opening the box. Oh yeah, I broke out the tripod today. I know there are a lot of people that don't like the shaky camera. Okay, nice and careful here. Ready? What does this look like? Ooh. There's one. Here's the other. I don't know if I have a Penta Chinese tube here at the moment because I don't ever have problems with them. But I'll show you a. Oh, my doggy's out. Go lay down, buddy. So here's a. I'm not going to show the brand, but you can see the anodes. Here's a genuine Amperex. Actually, I'm going to put this one away because this one's good, but look at the difference in the anode thickness, the plates in here. Huge difference. Okay, let me put this one away so I don't damage it. I'm going to grab a dud. Here's a dud. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open one of these boxes. And just drop that cover. You can see they're sealed. Okay. I believe in just being honest. Quick buck, distorting facts to make a quick buck just doesn't do anything. In the end, truth comes out. So here we go. Here's the Amperex Penta 3-500zg. Seeing it first here. Amprepairguy. White ceramic base. Super thick plates. There's one. I'm not going to open the other one just yet. No need to. So I'm going to take an intermission. I'm going to high pot it. I know what a standard Penta high pot's at. The white base ceramic type. I'm going to high pot between the anode and the grid and the cathode, okay? And then I'm going to take some capacitance readings. I also know what the Penta ones test at. but I can just tell this is, it just feels so nice. But I will get back to you shortly. Just look how thick, I don't know if you can see it, but how thick the plate is. Look at the bottom there. Look how thick it is. It's just not just the circles here. I don't know what the proper term is, but look down there, the dark gray part. Look how thick. It's just so thick. One piece, no. Just like, let's see, show you again. Okay, so I will see you guys soon. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Good morning, everybody. It's now Friday. So I had started the video yesterday. I had so much work to do yesterday. I had to finish that Ameritron. That's done. I got up today, packed the hardbox kits, the orders. I put another amp that's ready for shipment in the original box that's loaded up in my car, packed those tubes up, and had other stuff to do yesterday. So fresh day, it's Friday, can't wait till I can relax later, have other stuff I have to do, house stuff this weekend, and also go out. I have a regular life, you know, I have to do fun stuff to make all this work worth it, you know. So I love what I do, don't get me wrong, I love fixing stuff, but you still gotta go out and have fun. Anyway, so I took some measurements and I used BK precision meter, what's it, a 875B for the capacitance readings, and I used my Hypertronics HiPot tester for the HiPot testing. So neither are laboratory grade calibrated, so these are just rough numbers, okay? Not perfect. I don't, you know, I just want to make that clear. This is what I saw with these two things here. This is what I use for testing all my stuff, and they're pretty close, but not perfect, okay? I also tested, I did certain tests between the white base China tube and the Amperex 3-500zg, and took measurements of like an iMac and, you know, their tubes also. Okay, so first off, something that is just great, that's like blows me away, and I think is the best of it, one of the two major positives about the that I could see out of the Penta Amperex. One, I saw around 3 kilovolts DC. It was like right at or pretty close to 3 kilovolts DC, and then I stopped. I didn't push any further between the cathode and the grid. Anyone that's high-potted a China white base 3-500Z, you'll you know, what I've seen here is usually around a kilovolt DC before it starts to pull current. So for the Amperex one to high pot so much higher, that's awesome. That's phenomenal, you know. So also, I've never seen a white base China 3-500Z flash from the anode to the grid. Usually it's a grid to cathode short. So because the Amperex one high pot's so much higher, that's, I'm guessing, educated guess from my years of experience, that it's probably less likely going to develop a grid to cathode short. You know, that's if you're not running it properly or whatever. It probably has some more overhead when it comes to hiccups, you know, if you make a mistake or whatever. Okay, so that's great. That's just awesome. And you also, the second thing is the anode plate. The thickness, the diameter, everything about that is just, they're just so robust from the very top to the bottom, like I showed you before. Okay, so things you want to keep in mind. As you know, I'm sure you guys already know, the white base China graphite tube is slightly taller than the iMac. Okay, so I took a measurement. It's roughly, white base one's roughly 1/8 of an inch taller, and the Amperex one is roughly 3/16 taller over the white base one. So the Amperex is a total of roughly 5/16 over an iMac. So I have a China white base and also the Amperex Penta in here, and you can see there's plenty of clearance with those anode caps. Plenty. It would never ever jump that far. And if you're worried about it, you can always get one of these types of caps. It's like pancake ones. You cannot use, I don't ever recommend those ones that the CB guys sell. I'll say this, I've gone through thousands of 3-500zgs, thousands. I've never ever seen a seal fail where it comes out where the, actually I should show you this, the seal, I'm sorry. See where the nipple comes out? There's a seal. So I've never ever seen that seal fail. So if you're running the tubes within spec, you're not going to have a problem. So that anode cap is not needed, that crazy big one, and that can create other problems. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I have talked about it in other videos. So, okay, so another thing, because it's taller, something to watch out for is, I know they make different chimneys, okay? So because it's a little taller, you want to make sure that, SB220, I'm sorry, this is just a parts unit. I know it's disgusting. But if you had like a Drake L4B or a Henry amp that had chimneys with the sockets recessed, you want to make sure that the chimney isn't bottoming out on the tube. They have different versions. Just make sure you have the right chimney, or you can get the Coleman lantern straight up and down type chimney. This is a tapered type. So that's something to look for, to keep an eye out for. Very important. Okay, here's a Drake L4B radiator. Again, it's not as tall as the iMac version, but just keep that in mind. So, I looked at everything, every little thing. Okay, so this is what I saw for capacitance. So the white base China versus the Amperex. The cathode to grid was 10.2, the white base 10.3. I mean, it was like basically the same almost. I mean, that right there, that could just been like how the leads were, whatever, just that slight difference, 10.2, 10.3. And then the plate to grid on the Amperex was 5.8. The white base Penta, China was 5.9. And plate to grid iMac 5.8, grid to cathode on an iMac 9.8. Okay, so that's that. So I'm going to tell all my customers that I recommend the Amperex one. That's what I would use. I don't know what Penta's going to charge for them. They're going to be more, but my professional opinion, it's worth it. So they're both great tubes. I'm not knocking the other one. It's also a great tube. But, apples to oranges, I would definitely recommend the Amperex Penta. The Penta version of the Amperex here. Okay? One on the right. There's just a huge difference. Okay? So you just got to keep those other things in mind when it comes to the height and what anode cap you're going to use. But sure, someone's going to say, why don't you show them working? Honestly, I don't have an amp here that uses 3-500zgs at the moment, but I had a customer that I did a Kenwood TL922 for, and they were actually selling some of these tubes without the Amperex branding on them yet, and he told me they ran great. He said he loved them. He said it seemed like they required less drive. So, they're still rated for the same amount of output. So if I did a video, I'm not like others that are going to push something beyond its specs and give people false hopes and, false information. We deal with absolutes here with real ratings. It's just the way it should be, okay? So, again, Penta, I turned them on to this version, and they jumped right on it. They're smart people over there, and they gave me first shot. They sent me the branded version first to make a video on, and again, I'll say it again. I've said it before. I've said it in so many videos. I'm not getting paid for this. This is my own time. I need to go to FedEx now, but I'm doing all this for free. I get nothing. So, I'm not selling tube, I mean, I refer customers to them for their product, but I get nothing in my pocket. I get nothing out of it. I'll keep saying it, nothing, nothing, nothing. So I'm not trying to pump up anything that's not true. I just shared everything that I saw, and I tried to do the best I could with this. I'm not a movie producer or showman or salesman or anything like that, but a lot of people come on YouTube and they look for information before they make purchases, and this isn't a cheap purchase, when you buy tubes or an amp, and but I put my name on the Amperex version. If I'm gonna, when I fix another 3-500Z amp, that's the one I'm going to recommend. If it's within the customer's budget, that's the one they should get. If not, they can still get the other one. I'm not saying, I know other people sell the other version also. Not knocking it, not saying it's bad or anything. Like I said before, I'll say it again and again and again. All I'm saying is, I like the other one. Test tire, grit to cathode, and has the thicker plate, graphite plate assembly. It's just really a no-brainer. So I think that's about it. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will be back next week with more amp repairs, and I can't wait to get back on my multi-band amp. But hats off to Penta. I am just so thrilled that they were able to obtain the Amperex version of the 3-500Z. That is just, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's a shame that the Amperex, the original Amperex, stopped making that tube. Everybody knew how great they were, and now they're back. Okay, so please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll give Penta the green light a few days to release the sets to the other people that want to make videos. But I'm sure maybe they'll catch something I didn't, but I think that should be about it. So thanks again for watching. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Amprepairguy.com, and also HarbachElectronics.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. 73.